All right, I believe it's time to plant some green beans here. I need a change after I planted my corn yesterday. There I'm looking at 24,000 seeds planted per acre. Again, it's sweet corn, it's not field corn. So field corn, I'd probably be looking at, 34,000, something like that, seeds planted per acre. But with sweet corn, we want a little more space between them. So let's look at it. I guess if I really get good at irrigation, I can push that population a little higher. It just depends on your personal circumstance. But I need to change my sprockets here from my driver and my driven. The driven is the top shaft. But I'm going to go with a population of 43,600 seeds, green beans planted per acre. That's roughly 4 1/4 inches per every seed, every 4 1/4 inches. So let's go ahead, and all we need, and I love these old things. Look, got the old square, but we're going to take a 9/16 and we're going to open this up. Let me go ahead and set the camera down, and but we'll work on it together. So the top shaft, I'm going to use the 18 sprocket tooth, and on the bottom I'm going to use the 30. So I need to slide it over one. So I know I need to get rid of this spacer here for the time being. Let's put it over here, out of the way. And on the bottom, I'm going to slide over the 30, which I need to move over. I need to remove 2 of my little spacers. There we go. So now I'll go ahead and loosen up our idler. There we go, using a 9/16 wrench. And there is they even show you, and I'll show you this, but the way the idler sits even makes a difference. So let's go ahead and move that over. Let's move, I might have to move over one more to line all of this up. So let me slide that back. Everything kind of gets positioned in here after a year of sitting around. There we go. I'll move over one more idler, or one more spacer. There we go. Let's take this chain off. And then we can put spacers in as we need it. There we go. I will have to do a little bit of one spacer in the middle of these two maybe. Nope, that looks pretty good. Don't need that. So let's go ahead and stick our spacer in here. Another spacer here. And one more on the bottom. Make sure, yep, there we go. I don't want to lose my spacer. So all my spacers are put back in there. Let's go ahead and slide this over one. There we go. And now I'm on the 18 tooth. Now there is, on a John Deere 7000, it says, you want to have maximum chain wrap on the smaller sprocket. So basically, if it's a small sprocket, let me change it. If it's a smaller sprocket, this is our smaller sprocket up on top, which is the driven shaft. So what I got to do is I'm going to change this idler around, make sure it's loose. I'm going to adjust the idler so that there's more of a chain wrap on the smaller sprocket. That's part of it. I need to put in my spacer in here too, so we'll do that. But I'm just trying to show you the process of how you change your plant population as you know, from going from corn to beans to whatever it is. Some folks, watermelon, and you can really get the population down to about 8,000 plants per acre, I believe. So let me get this done and get this put in. I'll bring you right here. Let's go ahead. There we are. Gotta slide that. There. We have that. Maximum chain wrap around the bottom sprocket. That's what we were after. And make sure everything is nice and tight. There we are. And I will tighten this up. There we go. So there we have our idler configuration, and it's of course based upon our directions up here on the planter. Top shaft is the driven, bottom shaft is the driver. I'm going, according to my book, to get 43,600 seeds planted per acre. I need an 18 sprocket and I need a 30 sprocket. Now you gotta refer to your book in order to do that. Well, one of the first things I have to do before I plant green beans, after I've already changed my plant population, is I need to go ahead and empty out my boxes from yesterday's leftover sweet corn. I'll still use that sweet corn here in the future, but right now I just have to go ahead, unhook the planter boxes and dump them, and then I'll put it back in the seed bag when we're all completed. But I just need to get a couple of things done to get that right. Boy, it's nice to have the wind lie down so I can have a nice conversation with you. So let me go ahead and get these boxes out, and we'll dump seed, set it up. I'll show you what I do. So the first thing I need to do, and I've already done it on this one, but that's unhook the Lovejoy down here. I'll show you on this particular one. I'll undo this one. So one of the first things I need to do is disconnect the Lovejoy from the planter box. That goes into my finger pickup. That locks it in. The next thing I have to do is unhook the box from the back. Those are the two steps for releasing the box. And then going back to this one, it's as simple as just leaning it forward and pulling out. There's the front hooks are just hooks. I'll show you that when we do that. Let's go and lean it forward and pull it back. Those are just the hooks right there, and it's all ready to go to be dumped. So then I'm just going to come in here and dump the corn, the seed. It takes 2 or 3 good attempts. I think I got it. Now I need to rotate my gear here so that way I can finish dropping the corn seed that's still in the finger pickup. So we'll go ahead and dump the seed from our finger pickup next. We'll set this right up here. And I'll turn my Lovejoy. Sometimes it's loose enough. Yeah, I'll go and use it. It's a little uncomfortable. But now it's dropping the seed that's already in the fingers. And you'll want to turn this counterclockwise. I think I got it. So now my hopper's empty. I'm ready to go ahead and refill my green beans. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and refill my hopper and with green beans. And you'll learn you will learn, you will learn about how much seed you want to put in. I'm kind of overdoing it here a little bit, but if I got to dump it, I can dump it. We have one other job to do, and that's go ahead and load up the finger pickup. These seeds are treated with a product called Cruiser, an insecticide, so make sure you wash your hands when you do that. But let's go ahead and load up the finger pickup. This way I'm going to be ready. As soon as I start to pull away in the field, I'll be planting green beans. Now this step really isn't that necessary if you're doing, you know, 1,000 acres or whatever, but we're doing such a small amount that if I don't do this, the first 10 feet, 15 foot won't be planted. So see how I'm turning it and nothing's coming out yet? That's because it's not loaded in the fingers. I go ahead and it's getting ready to pop. I can hear it now. There's the first one. Second, third, you know, now the fingers, and there's another one. The fingers have it loaded, so when I drop it in the field and start driving, we're going to be good to go. I'm going to have my seeds dropping right where I want to start. To hook it back to the planter, it's as easy as sliding them hooks back in, but I have to make sure my Lovejoy is turned the proper way. For a good connection. And if it's not, I'll have to make an adjustment. Make sure that's dropped. Let's see, click it, and it's all the way in, so that is firmly in the proper position. And the last thing is let's hook this back on to the back of the box. There we go. Make sure all my seed is right there in the hole, and I want to put some powdered graphite in there as well to help lubricate my finger pickup. So that's how we unload and load up a finger pickup planter with individual boxes. This is not an air seeder, this is a finger pickup, as we talk about in other videos. All right, so I have all of my seeds put in my planter here. There's one more thing I want to do, and it's been something I've seen since I was a little kid. For John Deere planters, and you got to check with the, you know, what planter you have and that type of thing. For the working parts of my finger pickup, they recommend using some powdered graphite. I just picked that up at John Deere, and how you use it is incredibly simple. We just take it. Now, usually this is like a tablespoon amount for a whole bushel of seed, but in this case, I don't have that, so I just give a little squirt in each one, and what'll happen is it will work its way down. Just give a little squirt in there. It'll bounce its way down, and as the seed drops down into the mechanism, the finger pickup, the back plate, the fingers, all of that, it'll receive some of this graphite. It won't hurt your seeds any at all, but it will help extend the life of your metal to metal type of operation. So that's done. Once I have that done, I can go ahead and close my boxes. And I have one more adjustment to make, because green beans, I don't plant them 2 inches deep. I plant them about 1.5 inches deep. So I need to set that. We're going to do that in a second. Let's go ahead and close this up, and I'll be back to you as soon as we get the planter raised back up. All right, to adjust my beans for beans, I'm going to lower it down a little bit. So I have 5 holes and 6 holes is how I'm setting this right now. I'll double check it out in the field, but what that does is that changes my gauge wheels here as I drop it in the ground. It won't let it drop quite as far, so I'll continue on doing this. we're doing something very important here. As I made a pass, well, we made a few feet, and then I didn't like the planter depth where I had it set at. I'm looking to be closer to 1.5 inches for these beans. So we're actually trying to find the depth that I planted. So I'm kind of clearing some of the excess off, and then we start digging. It should be around 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inches, or we didn't plant it all in this row. That's an obvious scary thing. Whoop, there they are. They were on the left side, do you? So kind of go on there. Just go ahead and on this row, they were kind of on the left side. Let me come down a little bit more here for these folks. You just got to find them. They're you know, let's go over here. They're kind of hugging on. Yeah, that's fertilizer. Oh, there it is. There's a seed right there. Yep, I think so. Yeah, that's the bean. I'm gonna put it back right where I found it. So we have this nice rain and hail. You know, it was given to us, but that's where the seed was. So basically, what we're doing is you clear off this false top, and then we measure down. And I'm touching the seed, so I'm right at 1 3/4 inch depth. It'd be nice to have 2 of these, so when a seed company sees this video, please send us another one of these depth guides. But the seed is right there. You don't want to go off at the peak of your ridge. You don't want to do that. But you do want to go ahead and check and see. We were only going about 1 1/4 inches down before, but now I'm feeling pretty good at 1 3/4 inches. Okay, well, I'm almost done on my last pass on green beans, so I thought you might like to come along with me. Let's go ahead and have you guys, look, it didn't quite go in. There we go. There we are. And I'm just following my straight line that our planter marker's making. It's amazing how close I am to where we're going to be planting in a few days. Now this is just that's it. This is just our first. We'll raise that up. Now we raise the planter up. That's it. This is just our first planting on the green beans, so it's very exciting here. We're getting closer, but yeah, we're really moving up Did 24 rows. Each row's 100 foot long, as it turns out. Wasn't planned specifically for a number, but that's where it just turned up. But so anyway, we had 2,400 feet worth of rows. Delia's out there checking the onions, making sure they're out of the plastic and all of that from all the wind. There is the potatoes right there, and you can see potatoes are coming up. And then yesterday, my first planting of sweet corn, which I did not film there, but that is where the first sweet corn is. So it's an exciting time here in 2024 on the farm. I'm excited about this. So now I got to go ahead and take off my seed boxes, and then I'll park my planter. And Delia says we're going to go ahead and put water on the green beans. So I do need to spray some herbicide on the green beans just to make sure there that because the weeds, if I don't, it's going to be a disaster. And so we'll put some of that on, because we do have a 85% chance of rain in 2 days. Tomorrow the wind is supposed to really howl again, so I need to get everything sprayed today. That's the bottom line. I need to get everything sprayed today. So let me take these boxes off. Hey, it was great having you along here on the corn and green bean planting days. If you guys like these types of videos, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe, and come grow with us.